as far as the people go, the Mozambican people are just extremely special. Like, I love them a lot. Um, they, I guess, speaking as a whole, they're obviously every person is different, but I guess speaking as a whole, they're um, very simple, very happy people. Um, they're very friendly, very nice, and especially to the missionaries, they have a lot of respect for the missionaries, and they'll open their homes to you, and no one will turn you down if you want to visit them. Very few people will actually turn you down. Everybody is honored to have you visit them. Now, whether they accept the gospel or accept the commitments you extend to them and actually do them, that's kind of a different issue. But they're very special, very kind people. They very humble also. I saw very few, mostly because I would classify as prideful. They're very humble and very hardworking. One of the things that I liked a lot about the Mozambican culture, as opposed to maybe the American culture, is they had less of a focus on the materialistic things of life. So to them the biggest thing wasn't making the most money or getting a nice car or getting a car, period. But they focus a lot more on, I'd say, the things that are valuable. I guess the more eternal things of life. Now, of course, every culture is different, and so there's a lot of things that you will definitely see there that you may find a little bit disturbing as coming from a different culture. For the American missionaries, I guess. So, for example, a lot of times you see fights in public, or even people just yelling and just having yelling matches at each other. That's not uncommon to see. In particular, there's I think a lot more domestic violence than what you would see in at least than what meets the eye in a more developed country. One event I remember in particular, it was early in the morning, and me and the other missionaries, there's 3 other missionaries, all of the missionaries that were in our house, and we were going to do a service project. So we left with a member to go do the service project, and it required walking a few miles. So we were walking out to this guy's house, and up ahead I saw some people on the street, and the woman had her hand kind of wrapped around the husband's shirt, kind of like she was trying to stop him from going or something. It didn't seem. It seemed a little bit out of the normal, but I didn't think much of it, until we got up closer, and I realized that it was an argument that they were having. He probably wanted to go, and she wanted an explanation for something, why he wasn't home last night or something. I don't know. And in any case, next thing we realized, he was hitting her and kicking her, and really. It was. I don't want to go into a lot of detail about it, because it was just completely. He was beating her basically in public, just there in their yard, and I remember seeing that and just kind of my jaw dropping. I just didn't realize that was a situation I would encounter, and I noticed that nobody else was really doing anything. I think a lot of everybody, not just Mozambicans, I think everybody's a little bit, afraid to involve themselves into such a violent situation. They're afraid of what will happen to them. Does he have a knife? Like, will he get mad and, whatever. So I think it's a natural tendency to just, keep on walking and let somebody else deal with it. But, it took a lot of, I was scared to do it, but I guess I kind of made a decision then that I have to I can't let that happen, and really I felt the responsibility, to help this lady. So I went over and yelled, "Stop!" And after after the ice was broken, then other people came, the neighbors and everybody else, and kind of settled the situation, I guess. And we just left. But I guess my advice that can go along with that is, as a missionary, don't have courage in everything you do. Like you have to have courage in what you say, as well as what you do. So you'll definitely have chances, but whether it's something that dramatic, it may or may not be, but you'll definitely have a chance to stand up for, the sanctity of womanhood, or whatever it may be, respecting women. And so my advice would be to just to be courageous, and to don't worry about what's going to happen to you. You won't, you're not going to be killed or anything. Like, just be courageous, and if something needs to be said, if something needs to be done, do it. I remember another occasion, kind of a little bit of a different story, but it was my very first day in a particular area. So me and my companion were walking to our area, and we came about a roundabout. There's lots of roundabouts in Mozambique, because it used to be Portuguese owned, so I guess it's kind of European style. In any case, in this roundabout, there was kind of grass in the middle, and we noticed the guy that was laying there, and he was just unconscious. He was laying there, and we'd seen that he had thrown up. He was throwing up blood, and he was kind of just laying there, just kind of, I guess, subconscious. And there's lots of drunk people, even laying in the streets, but to the point where we were throwing up blood, I'd never seen that before, so we. I guess once again it's that same temptation to just pretend like you didn't see it, or tell yourself there's nothing you can do about it, and just keep on walking. And I think my companion and I may have even taken a few steps, kind of started walking away, and then I just kind of, I guess the story of the Good Samaritan came to my mind, and I realized you can't just leave this man. I don't know what shape he's in. Maybe he's already dead. Maybe he's dying. You don't know. So we went back and we stopped, and we tried to stop some people to see if we could use their phone, or if they had the number of the hospital or anything. But nobody really seemed. I guess it's that same thing. Everybody just doesn't want to involve, like, what if this, what if that. In any case, what we ended up doing is we just ended up walking to a hospital nearby, and they told us they would go and pick him up. So when he came back, he was gone, so I assume they did. But I'm not sure if we handled that the best way we could have, but as a missionary in Mozambique, you come into a lot of situations where you are actually tried for what you believe, and you're actually tested to see if you actually will act in a particular way that you think you will beforehand. So I guess my advice to a potential missionary or a prospective missionary to Mozambique would be decide what you stand for, and decide that you will act, and that you won't let your fears get in the way of doing the right thing at all times, in whatever that may be.